Hey everyone, I'm finally doing the Q&A that I talked about before. If you're watching this because you watch my Miss Clue videos and you have no idea what I'm talking about, I have a Nancy Drew Tumblr that I asked people for questions because I reached a certain amount of followers, and these questions are coming from there. I asked for these like a month ago, and I read them at the time, but I haven't read them since then, so I really don't have any. I should have read these beforehand. Felicity, the door, asked if you had the opportunity to go through one of the secret passageways. Oh, she asked a question before that too. If you had the opportunity to go through one of the secret passageways from a Nancy Drew game, which would it be, and why? My first instinct was to say behind the Oh no, not behind the gargoyle. The dragon room in Curse of Blackmore Manor, where the slide is, because slide. It's like Mario 64. She also asked, which game had the biggest impact on you/your life and why? That's a good question. Maybe Secret of the Scarlet Hand, because I didn't really like history when I was at that age, like elementary school age, because we didn't have history. We had social studies, and it was always when I heard the term social studies, I didn't think of what it actually is, because I'm from Virginia, and all we did was learn Virginia history over and over and over again. Jamestown and the Roanoke Colony, which I do find that very interesting. But Jamestown. And so I kind of thought that's all there was to studying history. And then I played Secret of the Scarlet Hand, and it was like, oh, there's this whole, ancient civilization that I've never heard of, because they don't teach elementary school students that for some reason. And now I'm majoring in anthropology, and I'd like to think that game had a lot to do with just sparking my interest in that sort of thing. Yeah. That was a really good question. Karen from Kool-Aid of the Cosmos and Karen Plays Nancy Drew asked, do you have any pets? Show them to me. I have a chinchilla, but she doesn't live with me. Otherwise, I would show her to you. But she lives with my mom. It's like a 2-hour trip between my mom's house and here. And I'm just afraid that riding in a car for 2 hours might upset her, because I've had her since I was right before I turned 16, and I'm 23 now. So from 16 to 23, she has not been in a vehicle, and I feel like it might be too much for her to be on an interstate for 2 hours. Karen also asked, my chinchilla's name is Madeline, by the way. Karen also asked impressions of weird things Nancy says or other characters. I remember reading this when she first sent the question, and I thought about it then, but I since then haven't. Behind my laptop, I have Post-it notes of different phone numbers from the games, because I was playing a lot of the games recently, and I was writing down all the phone numbers, and I don't know, I thought I was going to do something with it, but I haven't. Let's see. I'm just looking at the characters to try to remember something. Well, my favorite weird thing that Nancy says is in Stay Tuned for Danger, whenever she's talking to Maddie about why they need her help, and Maddie's talking about the poison chocolates, and Nancy says, "Someone sent him poison chocolates." That kills me every time. And what else? Oh, just yesterday, my boyfriend and I were gonna watch something, and I was like, hand me the remote, and hand me the remote and I'll set it up while you go. He had to go do something. And when he came back, I was like, I got the tape all queued up right here. And he was, he didn't get it. Which that's Harlan from the Haunted Carousel. But, well, she doesn't really say that weird. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Okay, an anonymous person asked where I live, and I'm not gonna like be super specific, but I live in Virginia. I live in like not a small town. It's honestly like a very big town to me because I'm from a very small town, but everyone here is like, oh, there's nothing to do around here. And I'm like, are you kidding me? There are like 3 Walmarts here. We didn't get a Walmart in my town, or a super Walmart or whatever, until like recently. Well, I guess not that recently, but anyway. Yeah, I live in Virginia. And I live in central, kind of close to Southwest Virginia. Cammie from I Want a Cocoa Kringle said, what's your favorite ND ship and why? Francie. Frank and Nancy. Because, I don't know, I love Frank, and when I play the games, I feel like I am Nancy, and I want to be with Frank. So honestly, that's the reason. I mean, I don't really care who Nancy's with, but when I play them, I'm Nancy, and I love Frank, so yeah. Which game has the best atmosphere? Oh boy. Hands down, Secret of Shadow Ranch. Every time I play that game, the music that plays when you're like wandering around the farm or the ranch, it's just so, you feel like you're there and you have to do the chores that people who actually live on ranches have to do every day, like picking the vegetables and getting the eggs and feeding the horses, putting the bridle back together. There are just so many chores that make you feel like you're really there, whereas in some of the other games, like when you do, the first other chore that came to mind was when you type up Nigel's memoir. That doesn't really make you feel like you're in a big manner. Yeah. Okay, another anonymous person asked, which I think this was actually in response to an ask, like, you know, one of those things you reblog that's like a bunch of different things. This person said, 5 games with your favorite music. Shadow Ranch, like I just said. The Secret of a Scarlet Hand, definitely that like really bouncy, happy music that plays. I guess Curse of Blackmore Manor. I like the song in that one, the one that they sing. I should have like pulled up a list of the games. Music. Oh, Danger on Deception Island has some great music. I'll try to think of another one. Another anonymous person asked me what I'm in school for, and I said before that I'm in school for anthropology, but I want to teach. I want to work in a museum at some point. I would love to work at like the Smithsonian. Don't know if I'll ever get that opportunity, but I would really enjoy that. Or any museum, really. But I also, outside of that discipline, want to make computer games for kids, but I don't want them to be, I have a very specific type of game in mind, and I want them to be educational, but like a while back I was like, I wonder what kind of games there are for kids now that are educational, something kind of like Carmen Sandiego, and when you search educational kids games, all that comes up are like math apps for iPhones. And while I'm sure that's great and has its place, I feel like there should be games that are more it's not just what's 2 times 3 and then like a little dog pops up or something, like with an actual story, something akin to the Nancy Drew games but a little more focused on education, because I know some of the stuff in the Nancy Drew games is a little not true, like in Tomb of the Lost Queen. But yeah, and I would want to have like different one, like there would be a biology one and a chemistry one, and I mean there could be a math one too, I guess, and different aspects of history, and yeah, that's what I want to do. I think that might be it. Let's see. Scrolling through different asks that don't have anything to do with this. Oh, you know what? I have asks from a long time ago when I said I was going to do a Q&A and didn't do it. I'm going to answer those. An anonymous person asked Joe or Frank Hardy. Frank, obviously. Andrew at Difference Detective asked Samantha Quick or Sunny June. This must have been in response to another one of those Ask Meme things. Sunny June. I'm in the minority here, but I don't like Samantha Quick. Andrew also asked, what's your favorite hobby? Which game did you find to be the easiest? Which one was the most challenging? My favorite hobby? I've never really had a hobby, to be honest. Which, I don't know, I've always wanted a hobby. I just lose interest in stuff. But I have been like actually working on my YouTube channel more lately. I guess that's a hobby. Which game did you find to be the easiest? Secret of the Old Clock. I could do it with my eyes closed over and over and over and over again. The only challenging thing about that is the card thing with Richard whatever, but that's just more annoying than it is hard. Which one was the most challenging? At the time, Curse of Blackmore Manor, I could not get past the rotating room. It was the most confusing thing to me ever. And sorry if I keep looking at myself, but my hair's annoying me. Yeah, now I know that someone said you like walk in, walk out, and walk back in and it's fine, but I always really struggled with that. Brady Charmstrong asked, who are your top 5 favorite characters in the ND series and why? These questions are probably like at least a year old, but I'm answering them now. Top 5 characters, I'm gonna say this is not like recurring characters, like Frank or somebody like that. I really like Patrick in The Shattered Medallion. I haven't replayed it recently, so I can't remember. Oh, what's his girlfriend, wife, whatever she is, what's her name? Lena? I really like her too. I'll think about it. Any specific places you'd like to see Nancy go? Well, before I would have said Salem, but she is going there now. I would like a game set in Virginia. There's a lot of like Civil War history in Virginia that maybe, I mean, I don't know, a lot of people find the Civil War kind of boring, but it's something. Oh, someone sent me a gross anon. I forgot all about that. That's really weird. Wow, yeah, I got into really old questions. Okay, so back to my favorite characters. Looking at my post-its again. Carson. I know he's recurring, but I really like Carson and would like him to appear in physical form sometime. Henrik Vanderhoon? Why doesn't that sound right to me for some... I hope I haven't been knocking this microphone around the whole time. But Henrik. I really like Henrik. That's for, maybe, oh, I can't think of anybody. Um, I'll go with Tex actually. I don't think I I don't think I normally like would say Tex, but for some reason he popped into my head, and I actually really do like Tex. He, he's rough around the edges, but he has a nice, kind heart. That looks like it's everything. Yep. Okay. So I answered the most recent questions and ones that I swear those are like it. They're probably like 2 years old. Um, but yeah, that's it.